America has had problems and issues with elections for many decades. For example, the Trump versus Biden 2020 election had some problems. One of them was that Biden won the election, but Republicans claim that the Democrats cheated. One of the first elections with major problems was the election of 1824. This election had a corrupt bargain, but before we talk about the actual corrupt bargain of the election of 1824, let's talk about the four main people who played an important role in the election.
First, Andrew Jackson. He was born March 15, 1767. He was an American war hero. His nickname was Old Hickory. Andrew Jackson served in the Battle of New Orleans. He was the 7th President of the United States, and his presidency was March 4th, 1829 to March 4th, 1837. Andrew Jackson was in the Democratic Party. He was also known for being an American lawyer and statesman. But he died June 8, 1845.
Did you know that Andrew Jackson fought the Indians but adopted 2 of them as his children? Did you know that Andrew Jackson and John Quincy Adams were born in the same year? On the topic of John Quincy Adams, born in 1767 in Braintree, Massachusetts. John Quincy Adams was part of the Whig Party. He was the 6th President of the United States. His presidency was from 1825 to 1829. He is the eldest son of President John Adams. John Quincy Adams was a statesman, diplomat, lawyer, and diarist. He was the 8th Secretary of State and served from 1817 to 1825. John Quincy Adams died February 28, 1848.
Did you know that John Quincy Adams was the principal author of the oldest written constitution still in use? Did you know John Quincy Adams had a strong dislike toward kissing? Did you know John Quincy Adams almost drowned during his presidency? Next, Henry Clay. He was born April 12, 1777, and he was part of the Whig Party. He was an attorney and statesman who was a member of the Senate and House of Representatives in the state of Kentucky. He was the 7th House Speaker as well as the 9th Secretary of State. Henry Clay died June 29, 1852.
Did you know that Henry Clay outlived most of his children? Did you know Henry Clay was a horse racer? Finally, William Crawford, born February 24th, 1772 in Amherst County, Virginia. He was known for being a politician and judge during the early 19th century. He served as the U.S. Secretary of War and U.S. Secretary of the Treasury. William Crawford was in the Democratic Party. William Crawford died September 15th, 1834.
Did you know that William Crawford got his education at Academy of Richmond Country? Did you know William Crawford appeared on the 50-cent bill in 1875?
Now that all the major people in the election of 1824 were introduced, let's talk about the election of 1824 itself. The election of 1824 was mainly a debate between populist Andrew Jackson and John Quincy Adams because they were the candidates with the most votes. Andrew Jackson was winning the election with electoral and popular vote, but John Quincy Adams had an idea. To win the election, John Quincy Adams decided to make a deal with Henry Clay. This deal was that if Henry Clay gave John Quincy Adams his votes, then Henry Clay would be promised a spot as Secretary of State if John Quincy Adams won. Due to this deal, John Quincy Adams won the election by electoral vote. This deal was called the corrupt bargain. John Quincy Adams wanted Henry Clay's votes because he shared many of Adams' positions on major issues at the time. He lent himself support, allowing Adams to win the contingent election on the first ballot.
After the election, there was a law made to prevent a corrupt bargaining from happening again. This will affect other elections by preventing one candidate running for president to give their votes to another candidate. The corrupt bargain was a debate and diplomacy. The corrupt bargain was a debate on whether giving votes to another candidate was fair. It was also a diplomacy because after the corrupt bargain happened, there were laws made to prevent this from happening again.